All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, and listen, welcome to today's and this week's Tuesday tip at 2. So, listen, today I want to just chat with you all and really talk about give some tips for surviving a hectic seller's market. I really want to give some tips on that. Why do I want to talk about this? Because it is something that as a realtor in helping buyers that is happening, right? That I'm legit experiencing with my clients. And so I want to give some tips. All right. Number one, hello everyone. It is me, Danielle J. Mitchell, your up and coming queen of real estate. And thank you for joining me for today's and this week's Tuesday tip at 2. Listen, what I first need you to do is subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Let people know that we are about to get into it. All right. So how to survive, some tips just on really surviving this seller's market, how to manage your expectations. Number one, you want to keep things into perspective. Keep things into perspective. I think a lot of times, no matter how much research you may have done, no matter how much as your realtor, coach you and let you know and inform you, and how many Tuesday tips at 2 you watched, how many Google things you've seen, how many CNN reports. Nothing really prepares you for getting into this market until you're in it most times, right? So you want to keep perspective. Keep perspective when you are attacking this market and looking to buy your home. Okay. The other thing you want to do, number two, is keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. Um, keep an open mind to the process. Keep an open mind and understanding that, hey, the time frame may not be what you want. Understanding the terms that you may have for putting in an offer for a contract, keeping an open mind on your deal breaker, your house, your time frame, flexibility, all these different things. Keep your mind open in the process, right? Um, Number three, understanding your best and worst case scenarios. Understand your best and worst case scenarios, right? So embracing yourselves for that. Best case scenarios is what can happen, but understanding your worst case scenarios, understand them, face them, and just keep that in, again, perspective. Keeping that in perspective. That was number three. Number four, I would say, is really embracing the process, right? Don't be fearful of it, but also be realistic about it, right? So embrace this process, embrace everything about journeying through buying a house. Number five, I believe it's number five. Number five is a huge one. Be okay with not buying your dream home. If you are a first time home buyer, be okay with it not being your dream home. If it is your second home, or you're, looking for that, maybe you've already bought, you're not a first time home buyer. What I would say to you is be open to making a property, turning it into your dream home, right? So what does that mean for a new first time home buyer? It's okay for this first home of yours, no matter what age you are. It's okay for it to not be your dream home, right? It's okay for it to have the makings of a dream home, but it is a okay for it to not be your dream home, right? Um, Understanding that at some point your income may change, and even if you're looking to maybe you are a more mature first time home buyer, meaning older, hey, even towards the time of retirement, you may get some money. You may want to tap into your 401k. I'm not necessarily suggesting this. You should talk to your a financial planner, or consult with them, because you want to make sure it makes sense, right? But you may at some point in time come into a scenario where you're getting a lump sum of money, and you may do it then, right? But what I'm saying is, if you are one who is younger, your finances are going to fluctuate. You're going to get raises. You're going to get different job opportunities. There's a lot that will happen where you will attain your dream home. If you're more mature, it's okay to get your foot in the door, because at the end of the day, even if you only are at your first home for 5 years, you still have some equity in there that you can use towards a dream home or the dream home. Does that make sense? So it works both ways, whether again you're a first time home buyer or somebody who, if you're going for your second home, um, it's okay to not find your dream home in your second home, but to really look at the bones of the property and say, hey, can this potentially turn into it as I, grow and continue to move through my career and continue to make some, better financial decisions, not better, but, just financial decisions that's going to set me up for the long run. Can this property, because of the location, because of the size of it, because of the yard space, because of some just other factors, can it eventually over time, after I do some projects, become my dream home? So those are things to consider. A lot of times, you can face some disappointments, which is what I deal with my clients, a lot, because you're putting in offers and they're just not getting accepted. And I know I did something on, should I wait to buy? And really, it's about, in order to not get disappointed, and really, because it becomes emotional, right? You, this is your home. This is some place that you're going to spend a lot of money on. This is somewhere where it's a huge life decision. If you have children who are in school, or work, all these different factors that play into it. How do you stay sane during the process? And it's really about having that perspective, having an open mind in regards to things, adjusting deal breakers, doing all these things to really be like, okay, how do I kind of stabilize myself in this unstable and sometimes volatile market? Because so many people are looking for houses, so many people want it, and you can think you're putting in the best offer in the whole wide world and have the biggest chance, but you can still lose it by this much. And I think that's a lot of times the biggest struggle, even for me as a realtor, where it's like, I can be confident in God and my client, and I'm confident that the offer can stick, but you miss it by just that much, just a hair. So, for me, I always try to really coach them into woosah, you know, don't be thrown off by this. Take a beat, right? If you got to take a day to be, sad about it, if you got to take a few hours to be sad about it, it's fine. But also understand, perspective is everything. Don't, when you go in to see these houses, don't lock in too much. Like, you want to envision yourself in this space, but not where you're planning for the next 10 years after you go to a showing and you see the house that you feel is the perfect house. Don't trap yourself in there. You want to see yourself in a space, but don't see yourself in a space where it's like, yep, see, in 15 years, I can see XYZ element of P. Nope, we don't want that. We want you to have a healthy outlook when you're in this process of viewing and seeing homes and hopefully getting under contract and getting to closing and buying your house, right? So those are some tips. That's really what was kind of on my mind, on my heart, because this is just, I try to again give things from a perspective that I'm actually going through. That's happening right now in the moment, and this is what's happening in the moment with this market, and we have not hit spring yet. So I hope that's helpful to you. Listen, if you're interested in attacking this market by buying, you can go to book.djmrealtyco.com, which is down there. If you're interested in getting on this market by selling, you can do the same thing. Go to book.djmrealtyco.com. There, when you click that link, you'll see a buyer consultation, and you'll also see a seller consultation. You have the opportunity to choose from either or, and yeah, consultation is free. We'll talk through it. And listen, just keep things in perspective. Keep an open mind when you're in this process. Really understand that when you're going into this process, you need time to go through the process, and you need to be just emotionally ready. It's not just about financially ready, but you have to be emotionally ready, mentally ready to deal with the tug, the tension that happens in trying to tackle this market. And I'm here to partner with you, to be, your coach, to push you. But so yeah, I'll leave it there. So until next time, it is me, Danielle J. Mitchell. Y'all become a queen of real estate. Thank you for joining me for today's and this week's Tuesday Tip at 2. Listen, I'm a PA realtor licensed in Pennsylvania, but I service Philadelphia and the surrounding suburbs, which would be Montgomery County and Delaware County. Remember, there's no place like home, no place like home buying, no place like home selling. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.